Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Code with B. In the previous video, we talked about data encryption using asymmetric key encryption and the symmetric key encryption. In this video, we will talk about one of the symmetric key encryption, which is DES. I will describe in detail how DES work. So let's get started. For any encryption, what we need is the data, right? First thing is data, which has to be encrypted. The second thing is the key. Third thing is the algorithm. Okay, so for DES, data has to be a 64-bit length. Similarly, the size of key has to be 64-bit again, right? And there is the algorithm, which we will discuss how it works. But the essential things are the key and the data, which has to be 64-bit. If the data is longer than 64-bit, so DES cannot encrypt it. But in real life, obviously we won't have the data which is fixed bit size of 64, right? So suppose I am printing my name, the name could be of 32-bit maybe, or there could be some lengthy text which could have say 1000 bit or so, right? But still this information has to be encrypted. So we will see how this DES algorithm will work there. Okay, but before that, we will just consider right now that the data is 64-bit and the key is 64-bit. So suppose I have a data which is of 64-bit length. First of all, what I will do is I will just divide this 64-bit into two parts. The first 32 bits and then the second 32 bits. Okay, then we will see what we will do with this data. But before that, let's look at the key. We have 64-bit key. Okay, first of all, what we will do is we will extract the 56-bit key from the 64-bit key. How can that be done? So if you see in the 64-bit, it is 8 bytes, right? So what we will do is we will remove the least significant bit of every byte. So there are 8 bytes in 64-bit. So from each byte we will have a 7-bit. Okay, so we will remove 1 bit, 7-bit from the first byte, similarly 7-bit from the last byte. So it goes 56-bit. Right? Now when we are saying that we will remove the least significant bit, so suppose the byte is 11001010. Okay, so in this case we will remove the least significant bit and we will go with the remaining 7 values. Okay, similarly for other bytes we will do the same. But now if we are saying that we do need only 56 bit, so why did we even pick the 64-bit at the very first place? It could be only 56-bit, right? But to make the key secure, the 64-bit key is chosen in a way that it has the 56-bit values which are of primary importance, but the last bit of every byte is chosen in such a way that it makes the parity odd. What does that mean? So suppose I have this number 1100101. Here if you look, the number of ones are even. The last bit would be 1. Okay, so now we have total 5 number of ones, that is odd value, right? So if I have the value like 11010000, in this case I have 3 ones. Okay, it's already odd, so last bit would be 0, so that eventually the number of ones are odd. So the 64-bit key is selected in a way that it obeys the rule, right? The last bit is the parity bit, so that can be removed while getting the 56-bit of it. So this is the first part. So we have got 56-bit key. Now the second part is to divide these 56 bit into two parts, the same way as we did here. So 64 bit is divided into 32 bit and 32 bit each. Similarly, this 56 bit will be divided into two parts of 28 bit and the 28 bit. Okay. Then what happens is, actually with this data there are total 16 rounds of computation. So in every round we get a key from this value. So initially we have 56 bit of data, we get a value of 48 bit from this. Okay, so key size would be 48 bit that we get from the 28 bit and 28 bit combination. So how do we do that? So in the first round, first of all, we from both part we do a left shift by 1 bit. What does that mean? Suppose I have value of 1101. So I do a left shift, that means every bit will be shifted toward its left. So 1 will be shifted here, 0 will be shifted here, 1 will be shifted at the first position. Now the 1 will go back to the last position, right? So this is 1 bit left shift. Similarly for 28 bit this shifting will happen, and for this side as well the left shift will happen. Okay, so after the left shift by 1 bit we again get, so if it is C0 it's D0, then the C0 D0 is 56 bit. But what we need is a 48 bit key. So now this 56 bit will be converted into 48 bit. So for that there we use a permutation table. Okay, the permutation table is of 48 bit. Okay, how does that work? So suppose there is a permutation table PC which has value 14, 46, 12, 22 and something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there are total 7 bits, and similarly there are 0, 0th position, first position, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7. So total 8 values are here, and I'm not going in detail of how this permutation table is calculated because the video will be large in that case. So if you need, we can talk about this later, but for now assume that there is a 8 cross 7 bit matrix in which there are 7 values in this in the columns and 8 rows are there. Okay, so what happens is whatever values we have here in the 56 bit, we will iterate through this matrix and we will go at the first position, so which is this 14, right? It has a value of 14. That means from this key we will get the bit at the 14th position. So we will suppose that value is 1, so we get the 1. Then we move on to the second value which has a 46 value. Now from this key we will get a bit at the position 46. Suppose that is 0. Similarly we will move on until 7 values, and then from here until the last value. Suppose this last value is 21, so we pick a 21th bit of this 56 bit value. Suppose that is 0. Okay, because there are total 48 values, so we get the key of 48 bit. Okay, so this was about the first round. Okay, so now we know how we get the 48 bit. So from this permutation table we get the key K1. Now for the second round we will use this as an initial value. We will do a left shift and then again we will use the same permutation table. We will get the K2. So similarly there are 16 keys that we need to apply these values with the data. So there will be 16 round, so 16 key of 48 bit. So we have got case 16. Now one thing to remember, as you mentioned in the first round, what we did is we did set the value by 1 bit. There are 16 rounds, so for the round 1, round 2 and round 9 and round 16 we do left shift by 1 bit, and for all the other rounds, say from 3 to 8, 10 to 15, the shifting would be of 2 bit. Okay, so in every round we whatever value we have received from the various round will be used as the initial bit set, divide into 28 bits, do a left shifting based on the round. If it's 1 to 9, 16, left shift by 1. If it's round 3 to 8 or 10 to 15, left shift by 2. And this is how we get the K16 values. Okay, so far we have just worked on the keys. We know how to get all the keys, but we haven't applied these values with the data. But we are encrypting the data, so this key has to be applied with the data. So here what we do is we first of all apply the key 1 with the right part of the data. But if you see here, we have 32-bit data and we are using 48-bit of the keys. If we apply some operation, say we are applying a JOR operation, in this case we have different number of bits in both of the values. So what we have to do is we have to make it equal number of bits. For that, whatever data we have, we make it a 48-bit so that the operation can be applied. So here we apply we use an expansion box which takes 32-bit, convert it to the 48-bit. We will see in a bit how do we convert this 32-bit to 48-bit using expansion box, but consider for now we have got the 48-bit. We have got the key 1 48-bit, 48-bit of the R value. We apply JOR operation here, and then we get the, after JOR operation we will get the 48-bit. So far we have used the right side 32-bit converted to 48-bit using the expansion box, then the JOR operation here with the key. Now we need to combine the result of this with the left part, but here 32-bit, here 48-bit. Again we need to convert this 48-bit to 32 bits. So for that what we do is we use the S box here. We will talk about S box later, but now assume that we have got the 48-bit, it converts to the 32-bit, right? Now we have got 32 here, 32 here. Eventually the JORing will be applied with the two values, we will get the 32-bit. Okay, so this was about the first round. So this was L1. Now this L1 goes to the right side and whatever value we had here will be on the left side. Now for the second round, this R0 becomes the L0 and this L1 becomes the R0. Okay, we will now use the key 2, apply the same operation, we will get the other values, and eventually at the 16th round we would not swap anything. So we, whatever value we have got, this L16, and we will have the R15. Okay, so this is our ciphertext. So why we are not swapping at the 16th round? Because if you see at the very first round we had the L0 and R0, so we did not swap anything here, right? Now if this value is received at the receiving end and decryption has to be applied, the same process will be followed. So for that, the first value, it should not be swapped. So the operation will be started with the R15 to conversion to expansion box and so on. So we will have the same operation, right? Now the difference would be at the time of decryption, we have to apply the same keys, same algorithm, but the key has to be applied in the reverse order. So at the last we applied the case 16. So at the time of decryption we will be applying case 16 first. Then we will go with the K15 to K1 and eventually we will get the original text back. While decryption we would need to use the right shift. And again the rule would be for the first value there will be no shifting. For the second key there will be shift by 1 bit. Similarly for the 9th, for the 16th there will be shift of 1 bit, and for rest it would be of 2-bit right shift. Okay, so this is how eventually we do our encryption of 64-bit to the ciphertext, and then the ciphertext will be converted back to the original text by using the same algorithm, same set of keys from the original key. So here the key will be shared to the end user. Okay, so this was about the encryption and the decryption using the DES, but we still have to understand what is this expansion box and what is this S box. So let's understand that. First of all, we will look at the expansion box. The purpose of expansion box is to expand the 32-bit keys to the 48 bits. For that, if I divide the 32-bit, so here the expansion we're talking about, original values are 32 bits, resultant value should be 48 bit. Okay, so if I divide this 32 bits into 8 parts, so we have got 1101, the 4 values 1011, 1100, 1101, 0101 again, maybe 1010, 1101. Okay, so we have total 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 4 are 32 bits. Okay, so we have got set of 4 bits and we have got 8 such sets. So now we need to get 48 bit. So what we do is we use the same values and we add 2 values in every set. So if we add 2 here, 2 here, 2 here and so on, so we get 8 into 2, 16 more values. It becomes 32 plus 16, 48 bit. So what values do we add here? So now suppose I start with the second value, which is 1011. So I need to add some value over here. So it has the next value 1100. So the first value of the very next set should be used here. Similarly, the last value of the previous set will be used here. So we have got 110111. Similarly, we will apply the same logic here. So we have got 1100, next value, this is 1, this is 0. Okay, and then we will use same process here until the 7th value. But if you see, we have skipped the first and the last, and now I'll just use the 1101 here and 1101 here. Okay, both have the same value so somehow. Okay, so now it has a next set which has value 1, so this value is there. But what about the previous value, because it does not have any value before this? So we will use the cycle, whatever last set we have we will pick it here. So 1101, last value is 1, so we will keep the value here. Same way for the last value, the previous value would be used here, 0, and after this value is there, so we will use the value of the first set. So this is how we have got the 32-bit converted to the 48-bit. So this was the expansion box. Right. So now let's look at the S box. Okay, so original values are 48 bits. We need to convert it to the 32-bit. Same way we will divide into 8 parts. So we have got 11010. 1, this 6 bits, same 6 bits, 6 bit and 8 set of 6 bits. Now with every 6 bit, what we have to do is we have to get the 4 bit, right? For that there is used the S box. Okay, so as what S box does is it converts the 6 bit input to the 4 bit output here. So if I just simply say 2h power m, where m is 6 and 4 is n, so total we need 2h power 6, that becomes 32. So we need 32 values of 4 bits each. Okay, for this we use a S box. So the form of a S box is in a simpler way. If I present this 0 1 2 3, similarly we have 0 1 2 3 up to 15. So total, if you will see, this set need to have 2h power m is equals to 32 values of 4 bit each. Assume that there are some values, so I'm simply keeping some values over here. Suppose 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 of 4 bit. Total there are 32 values. Okay, now whatever value we have got here, 1 1 0 1 0 1, we divide into two parts, the first part and the second part. First part goes here, so 1 1, which is 3, 1 0 1 0 1, which is this, right? So now what we do is whatever value we have here, suppose it is 1 0 1 0, we pick this value, we just replace this value 1 0 1 0. Similarly for the next set, there will be a different S box that will be used. Essentially there are 8 S boxes, so we have got 8 for the 32 bit. Alright, so this was about DES, which works for the 64 bit data length, but in real life we will have data length which can be lesser than 64 bit, or that can have long text which is greater than 64 bit. So in the next video we will talk about different kind of modes and padding schemes by which we can encrypt the data of different size. Till then, happy coding!